Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Let's take a look at what Bitcoin is doing. Bitcoin saw a little bit of selling pressure there, but it's not convincing. I'm not convinced that this C wave has started yet. So let's take a look at what we need to see. Quick look at the bigger picture. What's the larger time frame outlook for Bitcoin? Just very quickly summarized. From the 11th of September lows, the idea is that we are looking for a 5-wave move to the upside. So we have 3 waves up into the early December highs. Then the question is wave 4 still unfolding or not? But this already is a fairly healthy wave 4. And at some point wave 5 should start, maybe already started to unfold. If it has, it's not very evident in the chart yet. The recent spike that we've seen a few days ago was, in my opinion, simply a B wave, basically a fake out, a corrective wave, which is still part of this wave 4. In yellow, you can see the important support range that is really basically the main range of support that we need to work with, between $34,060 and $39,300. This is an area where the price should respect it, shouldn't break below it. Doesn't need to necessarily touch it or get into it, but it would be ideal. But with a high B wave, sometimes they do avoid it, which is why I gave you also another area on the smaller time frame, which allows us to more specifically calculate a target for this C wave to the downside, which was already reached. But still, we have to technically give it space all the way down to $34,060, even though I have a hard time to believe it's getting there. But that's the range we have to allow it to move within. And if we get any pullbacks, I would rather use these as, let's say, buying opportunities, because a 5th wave should still unfold to 50,000 plus, maybe just to add to existing positions. I would try not to be short, at least it's my view. I don't see a very clear short trade setup, not as it is right now. It doesn't mean the price couldn't come down lower, it could, but I just don't see a very clear short trade setup that gives me a high probability. Now let's go to the smaller time frame wave count here. You see it here now in detail, this idea that 3rd wave topped on the 8th or 9th of December. We have an A wave down in wave 4. We have this overshooting B wave, and now a C wave to the downside. And I mentioned this white target zone for the wave C, which was already reached. The price reacted to it. But so far, the rally is only in 3 waves. So it seems like we're dealing only with corrective structures right now. Then yesterday, the price saw a small sell-off. Very small, really. Yeah, if you zoom out, it is not really noticeable. It's similar to what we did here. So it's not really anything major. But the idea is that after we have 3 waves down or 3 waves complete in this correction, we have to be ready for the next move to the upside. So if we see this as an A, B, C structure, then the C wave could be finished already because it reached the target area. But ideally, I'd like to see a little bit more waves down just to complete the structure, even though it starts to look a little bit odd. So I'm constantly thinking about alternatives and options here. There are naturally many options that could apply here if we talk about the micro count. As I said, the micro count is really just noise. What is important is to understand where the supports sit. And it's important to make use of dips as buying opportunities, in my opinion. Now, that's up to you if you do it. You have to decide that. It's just what I think is absolutely reasonable in a bullish market to use pullbacks as buying opportunities, and then just to wait for the 5th wave to happen. If we get a deeper pullback in a wave 4, great, fine. More opportunities within defined parameters. And okay, if it goes directly, then ideally everybody has their core position, which is how you can strategically prepare for that. And that's, I think, the only mindset that wins here. So looking then at the detail, well, that dip down yesterday, you can see it even on the 1-hour chart. Yeah, it could have been, I haven't labeled it intentionally. I mean, I could say, all right, to keep it simple, a C wave has 5 waves. Maybe this is the start of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, but the move down was only in 3 waves, so it's not giving me enough evidence to really confidently assess the C wave down of this wave 3 has started. I mean, basically yesterday, what we highlighted after the price broke above micro resistance, this is sort of what unfolded then, this B wave, likely, from what we can see right now. Yeah, so at the moment, I've got 3 waves up. It's getting interesting now. I've got 3 waves up. So as long as the price stays, which is typical for a B wave, as long as the price stays below yesterday's high, which is, to be very precise, at 44,760 on this chart, the move down could be a C wave. But I'm not saying it is, because this move down that happened yesterday was not a 5-wave move, so it's not an impulse down. So it's only in 3. So again, Bitcoin likes to move in 3 waves in these corrective structures. That doesn't give me a very confident assessment of this. So I need to see, at the soonest, a break below 42,620 to confirm this further. Until then, I can easily see this B wave extend. I can easily see that. It could even turn into some kind of a weird triangle. But the thing is, that B wave is already quite massive. So I'm thinking, if it turns into a 5-wave move, the low might be in. Okay, it would be a diagonal, but that's possible. It could then be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we get 5 waves up, the low might be in. But then we have to watch for a 3-wave corrective pullback next. If we get one more high, it would look like this. That's basically short-term bullish from here. 1, 2. I only have 3 now. Yeah, and it's like an ABC, okay? But the pullback was, yes, deep, but in 3 waves. So it keeps the door open for higher. That's a bullish pathway I can potentially see. It's just an idea at this stage. Now, where would the wave 5 land? So let me just double check something. But to be honest, actually this only reached the 100% extension level. So it's not really long enough to make an assessment. It's technically possible this could be a 5-wave move up, but it's only visual. You see, this move up has reached the 100% extension. Perfect for an ABC. It's actually perfect for a B wave. So actually, to have a reliable 3rd wave, I'd like it to reach first, even in the 3rd wave, a little higher. Okay, so that's just likelihood, probabilities. So it could be that this 3rd is still unfolding. So it would rather be like that. That's a bullish pathway. Okay, we would then say, yep, okay, this was the A wave, B, and the C wave is now unfolding. This is how it would need to work out. I like to see wave 3 at least to get to 45,408 next. And then we still only have larger 3 waves in, however, a potentially leading diagonal. So basically in white, so if someone's counting that visually, you say, oh yeah, I might get 5 waves, but that's not how it works. We need to use the Fibonacci levels, which obviously gives us an advantage above, beyond those who just visually count the waves. I can tell you that in a diagonal, if I measure that again, a 3rd wave, this is too shallow. So a 3rd wave should at the very least reach the 1.236 extension in a diagonal, okay? Otherwise, it's just visual wave counting. It often fails. So we want to use the fibs. That's what a bullish pathway would look like. And we would now be in the C wave to the upside. And it could even stretch a little beyond that, maybe touching the top of the channel again. But it would only be 3 waves. We need still 4 and 5 to confirm it is the white count. So you might say, oh, then it's too late. Yeah, the idea is not necessarily to trade this. The idea is to wait for a confirmation that a low is in place, then buy the pullback that follows. That's sort of what I can say about Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.